Hey guys, and welcome to Truck Talk Thursday.
Hey everyone!
Episode number 5. And it's a big one.
Is everyone ready?
I think everyone's going to be ready for this one. I know that I was a little hesitant preparing for it. We are going to be talking about bullying. Now, yesterday was Anti-Bullying Day, also known as Pink Shirt Day. And as you can see, we are wearing pink. We did not have pink shirts in our closet, and we didn't get to town.
So we're wearing our pink bras and bikini top.
Representing, supporting.
Owning it.
The best we can.
Yeah. So, let's get right into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So let's start with you.
Okay.
Okay. So, when was your first encounter with bullying?
First encounter with bullying was in grade 4.
Okay.
And I know we touched on this on, I believe it was one of the first truck talks we did.
1 or 2.
But I gained a significant amount of weight in grade 4 after our uncle died. And at that time, my clothes got quite tight. I was one of those kids that, wore jeans and t-shirts, and, gaining that weight as a young child. I mean, the jeans became restricted. T-shirts were tighter. There was, little muffin tops taking place. And let me tell you, kids can be mean. So it was at that age where, I could hear the snickering and the
whispering
and the whispering and, the teasing on the playground. And it was tough. And it was at that point where I never wanted to wear jeans ever again.
Really?
Just the way they fit my body.
Okay.
Yeah, just the way they fit my body, and just the way, my tummy would flow over top, and I would start wearing like larger sweaters, and
buttons
and I wanted to wear my spring jacket in class. And when you're 9-10 years old and you're already picking up those behaviors, it's pretty sad. So I remember talking to Mom and her buying me some athletic pants, and we went about it that route. So it was at that time, or I don't know, I remember, I think it was like an Athlete's World came to our small town, and I think that's when I got my first pair of tearaways. I thought it was pretty cool.
They're still cool.
But I leaned out quite a bit in grade 6, and things calmed down with the bullying, but I was very insecure about my weight. And the words that are said, fat kid and fat so, and don't sit on me, and it goes on and on and on. So when you're the fat kid, you get used to it. I was playing boys hockey at that time too, so that wasn't always accepted on the ice, girl playing with boys, so that was also difficult. But those were days that we got through, and I saw the light in grade 6, and from there it really improved.
That's good.
So when would you say your first encounter was with bullying that you can recall, that it really started to hit the heart and soul?
I wouldn't say elementary school for me. I'd say high school for me.
Yeah,
I would say that just because I went to a different high school than all my other friends did. So that was a big scary thing on its own, right? Like new school, everyone from other schools had their own cliques. So I came in as the new kid, which was kind of scary. So I remember grade 9, grade 10, I wanted to be friends with everyone, right? Like the jocks, the kids from drama, band, everything. So I wore what I always wore. I wore my flannel and my plaid and my cowboy boots to school. And I just assumed it'd be acceptable, right? Because, that's what I wore growing up. And I remember walking to class or walking to my locker, and people walking by looking at me, what I was wearing, and like, did you just come from the barn? Like, things like that.
Wow.
That were not cool, And I was also at that age where I was still in sports a lot, and I wasn't wearing makeup. I wasn't doing my hair, so I wasn't that girl that got up at 6 or 7 to do her hair and makeup. That wasn't me, right? So it was also that added pressure. Like, if I wanted to have a guy look at me, should have my makeup on, should have my hair done. But I was a sporty farm girl kind of kid, right? So I never really felt totally secure with myself until I surrounded myself with good people that made me feel confident and secure about myself.
And didn't judge you.
Didn't judge me.
High school is a really tough time period. I wasn't bullied in high school, but, looking back, starting in grades 7 and 8 is where I started to really see where things got awful. And, me being in that neutral zone and being friends with everyone, it was really difficult to sit there at times and not say anything, knowing that if I did say something, was I going to go back to the way I was treated in grade 4? And, there's that time period where you're going through puberty, you're needing to wear deodorant, girls are needing to wear bras, the right bras for their bodies and the way they're developing. And then you have also, girls going through, their menstrual cycles, like, beginning, and there's a lot going on at that age. And, us, at that age trying to understand what all of that is. And then you're starting to have feelings for people, like attraction and
I get it. I know, like, just because I was a big kid involved in drama, like, that on its own, you meet so many different types of personalities, right? And I kind of felt like, in a way, because we grew up in such a rural, small community, I felt like people had to try and change how they spoke or how they dressed just to fit in, and they couldn't be their true selves because they're worried about what comments or people would say behind their backs. It's horrible.
Yeah, no, it is horrible. It was horrible. And I just remember in, I will say, change rooms
and
hockey change rooms, gym change rooms, where a lot of these conversations would happen, and a lot of judgment and a lot of eye rolling and a lot of just bullying, and there are times where I wish that I did stand up or I did say things, because you could see the pain within individuals and the tears and the, and I didn't know what to say at times, but I knew what it was like to be that person.
That middle person.
The person that was bullied, and, so there's times, I would say in grade 7 and 8, that I wish I spoke up more. It was really cliquey. There was like, we had a group, and there was people that were in and out of this group, and it was sad. And, there would be parents calling parents and teachers getting involved with,
really?
trying to make things better. I mean, there was, that feeling when you're not invited somewhere, or
birthday parties,
it was, anyways, everyone goes through it on some level, but I do regret not standing up for some people, just with the concern and worry that I was going to go back to being bullied. And I just hated going home and crying and lying in my bed. But when I went to high school, that's when I did start, connecting with really strong, confident people, and standing up and representing, different groups of people, and being involved, with student council, athletic union, that type of thing, to, like, have a voice, and to know people could come to me in the hallway or, wherever, however. It was just something that, I did. But, high school was difficult for many, and especially when it came to friends of mine that, were gay.
Yep.
And it was it was really difficult for them to be who they are, and for them to express themselves and be comfortable with talking about, you know, who they are and who they want to be with and who they're attracted to. I mean, you could probably relate to that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, not only like in sports, like I had a lot of like girls I'd play rep ball with, and they're talking about their sexuality and things like that, like really deep conversations. And also being in dramatic arts, you know, I could just like, the way they'd speak would be a little differently, the way they dressed was a little bit differently, but they were really being true to who they were when they were in that environment. But I feel like when we were in school or in class, they had to act like a certain way in order to fit in, which was so sad.
It was sad. It was some of the most debilitating conversations I had with certain individuals, where the bullying got so bad that they didn't want to go to school.
They wanted to move.
They wanted to move, and some did. Some people, some friends, like they moved high schools. And I know individuals that their families moved districts, or they moved just so they could have a fresh start.
Well, even that's a good point, but even some situations where some families would disown their child. Like, I hear a lot of that.
Well, absolutely. I mean, with bullying to that extent. I mean, and that's within the family dynamic. I do know that, you know, when the conversations start going down the line of not wanting to live anymore and feeling suicidal because of the judgment that is being passed on the way people look, their sexuality, their upbringing, who their family is, their financial situation, how they live, where they live, all of that. It's, you know, and for me, when I went through those conversations and those hard times with friends, I mean, it just made me want to be stronger for others. Right. And as I kept on going through levels in life of, you know, you graduate high school, you go to college or university, or go into the workforce, it's like, you know, you have a voice, and when people aren't kind to people, you need to speak up.
You do. It can change a whole outcome of what could happen.
Right.
You know? I
mean, I know that for you, I mean, you being my sister, I know that's something that you've been struggling with and you've been insecure about, and I know that it bothers you because you feel judged with, you know, the industry you work in / the job you have. I mean, I'm proud of you. You love it. It's your dream. You're at home with it. But you know that over the years you have felt, you know, insecure about, you know, I will say, your job title.
Absolutely. Like, I think because of where I'm at, I'm turning 26 in a week, and I honestly could say it's taken me, I've worked at this job for 10 years, and I feel like as of recently, I can say I'm really proud at what I do.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, friends of mine, they've gone off and have had these wonderful degrees and success in their careers, and having that 9 to 5, 5 days a week, salary-based job, like a big boy, big girl job. And I felt like
in your mind.
In my mind. Like, yeah. I honestly feel insecure about it. Like, I was not something I would be proud to share. You know, like, I have friends beside me like, oh, I got this big job at this big company.
And that's amazing, but then, in turn, you know that you have felt
belittled sometimes. Just the way if they say it in a tone, like, you know, like, I've gone to school after high school and I'm proud of what I have achieved, but in a way they'd kind of put it on me like, you didn't do anything with that, which made me feel worse about it,
insecure about it.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting emotional. Sorry guys. No, but
I think the thing is that, you know, that all the digs that you've received, you know, the past 5-6 years since you've graduated, you know, I mean, oh, you're still that. Oh, I can't believe you're still a lifeguard. And to be honest, I mean, I know that you get paid very well, and it's a very respectable job, and you love it with everything in you. The thing is that, you know, as an adult, there are things that, we think bullying, it's like we think bullying's like something that you go through as a child or an adolescent or a teenager. And as you are an adult, it's like, well, is that what you call abuse? Is that what you call, judgment? Is that...
Or picking on, teasing a little bit.
But, there's digs. And I mean, when you have a lot of digs, and you have a lot of people that are picking on you, for things that you love and who you are, I mean, that is bullying. And at the end of the day, I mean, in my adult life, I mean, there are things for sure that, people have been mean about. I mean, let's go back to that 10-year-old girl that was teased about her weight.
Right.
And then for me to gain all the weight that I did in my 20s, which there was a reason. I mean, obviously we know there's a reason why things happen. And, but when you get mocked or teased again because of the way you look, that inner child within you, that wounded child, that 10-year-old,
it surfaces back up.
It's right there. It's triggered.
Yeah.
Every time I'd go on a plane and I would have to ask for an extension to do up like my seatbelt, or, you go to Canada's Wonderland and you go and sit on the test seat before you get on the ride to see if it would fit, and you're watching everyone like laugh and snicker and stare because it just won't go on top of your tummy and you can't secure yourself to go on a ride. Or, you watch people watch you do something, because you are a couple 100 pounds or 100 pounds heavier than them.
Right.
It's like, I mean, it's, and then for me seeing it now on the other end and paying attention to people, like I people watch all the time.
Right. And
I watch people that are unique and special. And there's times where they're all the time I say something like, because you can feel the pain, the energy and the pain within people. They can't be themselves. Right. I mean, mine is a weight thing.
I just found it like that's, I love how you brought everything tied in together, like talking about from when you were 10 to now. And for me, I just kind of laugh to myself. Like, that's how I get through things, is I laugh. Is those people that made fun of me what I wore, all of a sudden country music exploded, and what happened? You see all these people on social media wearing what? Plaid, denim shorts, cowboy boots at all these music festivals. And those are other people that tease me for what I wore in high school. So it's mind-boggling to me.
And that's why for me, I just look at life and I tell people, like, you be yourself, you own who you are. You surround yourself with the people that love you and that
support you,
do not judge you, and that like have your back. Yeah. Wounded people, people that were bullied sometimes become the bullies.
You see that a lot.
And you see that even in adulthood, where
in the workplaces,
it's like, what happened to you? Like, why are you like that? Like, why? And it's either you're a wounded person, a broken person, and you literally like submit, and you're the one that keeps on getting the stones thrown, and you just don't have the strength to stand up, or the wounded, all of a sudden becomes the person that's gonna continue hurting.
Well, that's just it.
People and abusing people.
They don't want the attention on them anymore.
Right.
So like, let's point out those people's flaws so they don't focus on me.
Right. And it's interesting. I mean, I've had people like that, like, throughout my life, And
you see the patterns.
You know, I never would judge them. I always was just curious and say, like, what happened? Like, I mean, I know they're not a bad person, but they have so much anger within them.
Or they have stuff going on at home, and they act out.
Absolutely. Right? I see it in my industry that I work in, construction, all the time. And you know, I'm not being stereotypical, but, you know, construction, there's a lot of men. So, I mean, you know, like, just great people. And then you wonder why they're wired the way they're wired. Like, what happened? What broke them? You know? I mean, I see very, very successful men that have just, like, built empires. You know, but I also, there's a side of them that, you know, there's a lot of pain. And they do things in their personal lives that they don't mean. And they, you know, and when I'm able to have these beautiful conversations and to know the whys and what has happened. I mean, and to have these even conversations with women in our personal lives, it's the patterns are there.
Well, people act the way they act through life experiences.
Right.
You know, like, I really believe everything in my life and probably everything in your life has shaped you who you are and Absolutely. How you treat people. You know, like, our mom was very keen at a very young age. You treat everyone with respect and kindness. And mom's a huge believer, what comes around goes around.
What goes around comes around.
What goes around comes around. And if you treat everyone with respect and kindness, it'll come back.
But we also know we're not perfect.
Oh, gosh,
and
no.
I know
Far from it.
And I can honestly say that there's been times in my life that I have been in pain and I've been hurt, where I know that unintentionally I've hurt others. And I own that. You know, but you have to heal that. You have to heal that. You have to recognize that. And that's a lesson. That's what life is about.
Well, you admitting it's a big deal. A lot of people won't admit if they're doing something wrong. The first step is admitting and recognizing you're doing something wrong.
Right.
You know?
And, you know, I don't want to hurt people. You know, that's because I know how much it hurt. You know, I know what it's like pain. To be hurt. But no, anyways, it's a topic that I'm glad that is being discussed. I'm glad that it's being recognized. I'm glad that schools are, you know, having awareness. I know that workplaces are having, like, pink t-shirts, and everyone is wearing pink t-shirts. I mean, we just couldn't get our shit together.
we tried, guys.
We tried. But for those that have been bullied in the past or now, you know, I feel for you. And you're not alone. And the biggest thing is to remove those bullies in your life and move forward and be who you are and be kind and heal. Take the time to heal. I know that, you know, everyone has their journey with bullying. And I mean, there's people that recognize that they have been the bullies. Right. And I've also had great conversations with people that, you know, have come back. Some unbelievable stories where they were bullied as a child and then they got of age where they became the bully. Mm-hmm. And then now they're grown adults and they wish they could go back and find those people and talk to them and apologize. And they are, like, tearing up and emotional telling me these stories. But they know why they did it. They were bullied as a child.
Dealing with something. And
then they became the bully as a teenager or a young adult. Right. And it is what it is. But that's my take on it. You know, I mean, the theme is be kind. Be a good human being. And
speaking of a good human being.
Yes, let's talk about that.
We have a little announcement.
So, for a lot of you that have been following us, we had a contest, a Valentine's Day. And it was our first contest. It was fun. It was exciting. We didn't know what to expect, how many submissions we were going to have.
We got quite a few.
We had quite a few. And for those of you that have just joined the channel and this is your first episode, We had a challenge on Valentine's Day for individuals to dress up as Cupid and send us an interactive photo or an interactive video of them in their getup. And we had a hoot going through these submissions, and also some dressed up pets.
They were awesome.
They were really great. So we want to announce our winner. Catherine Peel is our Valentine's champion. So we have a gift basket that we will be delivering to you, Catherine, and we thank you so much. We are going to post your video at the end of this. I know that we had your permission on that, so thank you so much. And our Farm Girl swag is going to be in very soon, so we will definitely have that in there for you. Yes. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Episode number 5 about bullying, and that was a rough one.
That was a heavy conversation.
Yeah, I had to fight some tears back,
I cried. So
so anyways, everyone, stay safe. Thanks for following. Remember to like and subscribe, share any of our good stuff, and we are looking forward to. We have an ambulance going by. Squirrel. Anyways, have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.